Hello everyone, welcome to the course of General Microbiology. The lecture is designed for BSc Biotechnology first year and today's topic is microbes mechanism to evade host defenses. As we know that in case of host parasite interaction, the first step is the infection. Once a microbe it came into contact with a host cell, it causes infection. Infection can be defined as a growth of parasite within or on a host, and the host is said to have an infection. But if we say that the host has an infection, it doesn't mean it also has a disease. So there are two types of microorganisms: non-pathogenic microorganisms which interact either through commensalism or mutualism with the host, while another type of microorganisms known as pathogenic microorganisms which are actual parasite and show negative symbiosis and cause disease to a particular host. Sometimes commensals they can be converted into pathogenic microbes and are known as opportunistic pathogen. For example, E. coli. E. coli, which resides in large intestine in human, it actually occurs as a commensals, but sometimes it becomes because of the low immunity or immunocompromised person, it can be converted into opportunistic pathogen and causes UTI. So, to understand the microbe mechanism to evade host defenses, we must go through some definitions. For example, what is pathogen? Actually, a pathogen is any organism or agent that produces a disease. Then next terminology is pathogenicity. Pathogenicity is the ability of a pathogen to cause disease. Then virulence. The virulence can be referred to the degree or intensity of pathogenicity, and the virulence of a particular pathogen, it depends upon different factors which are considered as virulence factor. For example, capsules, bacteria pili, and different types of toxins like endotoxin and exotoxins. The virulence of a particular pathogen can be dependent upon three different characteristics, three important characteristics, that is invasiveness, that is the ability of the organism to spread to adjacent or other tissue, then infectivity, that is ability of a pathogen to establish a focal point of infection, and then pathogenic potential, that is uh, degree that pathogenic potential can be defined as the degree that the pathogen cause damage to a particular host, and it generally depends upon the toxigenicity, and toxigenicity can be defined as the ability of a pathogen to produce toxins, the chemical substances that cause damage. Then lethal dose 50 and infectious dose 50. Infectious dose 50 can be defined as the number of microorganisms or pathogen that is able to infect 50% of a experimental group of host within a specified period. While lethal dose, it can be defined as the uh, number of pathogen that either kill or infect a 50% of a given experimental group of host within a specified period. The next topic is pathogenesis. So we actually in case of this microbes mechanisms to evade host defenses, we divide this microbes mechanism into two groups: the microbes mechanism to evade bacterial mechanism to evade host defenses, and viral mechanisms to evade host defenses. So first we talk about the pathogenesis of bacterial disease. As we have talk about the pathogenicity, that is the ability of the disease, while the pathogenesis is the progression of a disease or progression of a uh, infection which causes ultimately diseases. So first we talk about the microbial pathogenicity. Microbial pathogenicity and the progression of infection and disease, it depends upon various factors like first we talk about the factors related to the host, that is the host age, sex, ethnicity, nutrition, hormonal status, personal hygiene, and immune status. While if we talk about the factor associated with the pathogen, it includes the bacterial virulence, inoculum size, and its pathogenicity and invasiveness. While some external factors are also responsible for progression of an infection and disease, these external factors includes crowding, seasonal variation, hygiene, sanitization, and public health, food processing, storage, and preparation of food. So, to cause disease, a pathogen must gain access to the host, then adhere to host tissue, specific host tissue, penetrate or evade host defenses, and finally damage the host either directly or indirectly by accumulation of microbial waste, and finally it exit from the host. So progression of infection, as we have discussed, that it requires, first step requires the gain access to the host or entrance. So portal of entry, it includes mucous membrane, which is most common route for most pathogen, and this mucous membrane, it occurs in respiratory tract, gastrointestinal tract, urogenital tracts, and conjunctiva. The route can be a skin. Some pathogens, they infect hair follicles, sweat glands, and colonize on the skin surface, but generally skin is impermeable barrier to microbes, and until unless it is broken or it causes some abrasion, it is impermeable to microbes. So then another route is parenteral route. Parenteral route could be punctures, some wounds, some cuts in skin, or it could be injection or insect bites or surgery. It can be comes under the parenteral routes. So the microbes must enter through a preferred portal of entry in order to cause disease. And for cause disease, sometimes they follow many routes of entry, and when it enters inside the a particular cell or a particular tissue, then it first attaches itself on the host cell. So close association of bacterial cell and host cell generally characterized by receptors and target sites, and receptor sites present on both host, which are called as receptor, and bacterial surface. Generally these receptors or these molecules which are present on the bacterial surface, they are generally termed as adhesin molecules. So adhesin molecules, these bind specific host receptors and often involves fimbriae or structural cell component. Then next important aspect for the progression of disease is the number of invading microbes. As we have discussed that ID50 is very important for occurring a disease or for progression of a disease. Then another very important factor which is responsible for causing a disease is the biofilms. Biofilms generally are resistant to disinfectant and antibiotics. So as we have discussed, this is the way how a microbes, a pathogen, it enters and colonize on host cell or tissue. Then next step is how it evade host defense mechanism. Because if we talk about the mammalian host, particularly in case of human, they have a very specific and well established defense system known as immune system, and there are two type of immune response. One is innate or non-specific, another is specific immune response. So these microbes must prevent themselves from host defenses, and for that they have various mechanisms. So some pathogen, uh, particularly pathogenic bacteria, they are able to resist the bactericidal components of host by some inherent property. For example, the polydeglutamate capsule of Bacillus anthracis, it protects the bacterium against cell lysis by cationic proteins which is present in sera or in phagocyte. So it is a type of defense mechanism which actually evade the innate immune system by resisting phagocytosis or cell lysis. Then outer membrane of gram-negative bacteria, uh, which is act as a permeability barrier and not easily penetrated by hydrophobic compounds such as bile salts, which are harmful to the bacteria. So it is also a evasion mechanism of bacteria against host defense system or host defense mechanism. Then one another case in which intact lipopolysaccharide of gram-negative pathogen, it protects the cell from complement mediated lysis or the action of lysozyme. Another very important and interesting example is the example of pathogenic mycobacteria, which have a waxy cell wall that resists attack or digestion by most of the tissue bactericide, and hence they are able to survive inside phagocytic cells. Some microbes, some pathogenic bacteria, they produces some specific type of enzymes like coagulase. Coagulase, it clot fibrin in blood to create protective barrier against host defenses. Then another enzyme is kinases, which dissolve clot, that is known as fibrinolysis, to allow escape of pathogen from isolated wounds. For example, streptokinase, which is produced by Streptococcus pyogenes, and staphylokinase, which is produced by Staphylococcus aureus. Then another very important enzyme produced by pathogenic bacteria, that is hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase, it hydrolyzes hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, actually it is a glue that holds together connective tissues and epithelium barriers, and it allows deeper invasion of generally anaerobic bacterium like Clostridium, which causes gangrene. or tissue necrosis. Then another important enzyme is collagenase, which attacks or which hydrolyze or break down collagen for invasion into muscles and organs. For example, it is produced by Clostridium species. And this is all about the evasion of host innate defenses by bacteria. Then one enzyme known as immunoglobulin A protease, IgA protease, which destroy host immunoglobulin A antibodies, which is actually found in mucus secretion, and hence it evades the specific immune response. For example, in case of Neisseria, which causes central nervous system, it produces IgA proteases which destroy immunoglobulin A. So these are various defense mechanisms, which is evasion mechanism, which is adopted by bacteria against host defense mechanism. Another type of mechanism, evasion mechanism, which are adapted by bacteria are antigenic variation, as many pathogens which alters its surface antigen. And for example, influenza virus, which constant genetic recombination between flu virus and always produces new spike proteins. Then penetration into host cytoskeleton, many pathogenic bacteria, they penetrate into host cytoskeleton and use actin of host cell to penetrate and move within the cell of host. For example, Salmonella, it produces a surface protein invasion which controls the actin, and actin to cause the cell membrane to wrap around the microbe and take it into the cell by endocytosis, and by which the Salmonella penetrate intestinal epithelium.